Hi, my name is Tony, and it's hot as balls in here, but I'm still gonna show you how to make one of these flat caps, okay? Stay with me. Before we do anything, I promised my last video I'm gonna give away the tiny hammer to somebody, and it wasn't very hard to choose because Adam Rasmussen says, on the mini hammer, I'm teaching my 5-year-old leather crafting, and she loves tools sized for her hands. And I would imagine she has tiny hands just like this tiny hammer. Congratulations, Adam. Your 5-year-old gets the tiny hammer. I hope I'm not encouraging child labor here. Instead, I'm encouraging future competition and everlasting bond you're gonna have with your daughter. Now, well, with that out of the way, let's move on to the main topic of this video, and that topic is making this beautiful flat cap. Now that you have the files on your computer, you have to open and print them. I recommend using Adobe Reader. This is software that's free to use, that's what I use. You cannot open and print them using editing software like Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw or other software that can change the pattern itself. Also, our patterns are not compatible with laser cutters of any sort. There is one setting you need to have checked when printing the pattern. Please keep actual size or print at 100%, is the same thing. The page size is A4. However, you can go ahead and choose letter, or you can choose legal size, which are more popular in the US. The first page will contain a sizing diagram. There are 2 squares. Make sure when you print, the square is 5 or 2 inches in size. So go ahead, use a ruler, make sure the size is right. When you print the patterns, you need to cut them along the dotted line, okay? The one that has scissors. It's very important, when you put them together, both of those scissor sides match up. After we got all the patterns printed, we paste them together. And then we cut them out of the leather. You don't need to cut precisely on the black lines at this stage. Get all the pieces out of these pages. And then I'm gonna tell you next how to use these paper pieces to cut your leather. Now choose the right leather for your project, and then place the paper patterns on top of the leather. Use some masking tape to hold every piece flat, completely flat on the leather. At this stage, you're ready to go ahead and punch the holes. Make sure you get all the holes, don't miss any, because it'll avoid a lot of frustration later. So after you've punched all the holes, you can go ahead and cut the leather pieces out. You have to cut precisely on the black lines. Make sure the blade that you're using, whatever blade that is at the right angle, 90 degrees. At this stage, you should have every piece needed to finish your design. This hat has only 5 different pieces to put together.
Are you looking for signs? Oh my, I just wanna see your strikers. You are everything I need, love. I'm driving in the moonlight. Are you looking for signs? 'Cause you're the one, no.
So in order to get this hat, I recommend you use 4 to maximum 5 ounces of chrome tan leather. We are building a hat. We're not trying to make a helmet over here, all right? So make sure you get some soft tan leather for the main body of the hat, but for the bill or the visor and the sweatband, I actually recommend vegetable tan leather. And we're actually gonna start working on the visor and the sweatband first, because basically these will hold everything in place, therefore we need them to be a bit stiffer. So what I recommend you should do, get a piece of 6-7 ounces of vegetable tan leather, wet it, then shape it in place. We're gonna need this shape like that, this curve shape. Also, on the stitching, on the inside stitching line, where it meets the visor, we need to shape it inwards a little bit, all right? So go ahead and do that. Let the leather dry, and then wet it one more time and dye it. As soon as it's dried, we can go ahead and attach the visor to the sweatband. First, we're gonna close this loop here. Okay, make a ring. And once we do that, we are ready to attach the bill to the sweatband. Now, before you go any further, you can go ahead and take this little sweatband and put it on your melon, put it on a dummy, put it whatever you want. Make sure it fits, because if this fits right here, right now, the whole thing will fit. The hat will come in 8 different sizes. Choose the one closest to your head circumference, and you're good to go. If you already got bored with this build, at least you got a visor out of it. So, you can use it as it is, but you're not one of those people who don't finish what they start, are you? So let's keep going on, okay? Now we're ready to move on to the middle piece, all right? For this, you're gonna need these 2 long pieces down the middle that you will stitch first down the middle, and then you're gonna fold the edges on themselves and stitch one more time. Yes, I know it takes 3 times longer. Yes, I know, but trust me, you're not gonna remember that. You're just gonna look at the hat and see, oh my God, that is a good looking hat. That's what you're gonna do. like I said, once you finish this stitching down the middle, fold the edges on themselves, okay, and stitch them as well. Very simple saddle stitch, 2 needles, you know the drill, you've done it before. Obviously, once you do one of the edges, then you have to do the other one to complete this beautiful stitch. And it's one of those things that only look good once it's finished. And by now, you should have realized it. All right, you finished the middle. Very good job. I told you, this ain't gonna be that hard. So now we're gonna attach the sides, okay? Now the side of this hat is one large piece, okay? And you're gonna start either from the left, from the right. I don't care where you start from, as long as you do it properly. Now the holes will match. Make sure you don't skip any, otherwise you're gonna have to unstitch and redo. Finish the stitch all the way around, and then we'll talk after.
I'm leaving the light on if you come back around. I'm holding on until forever. I will fight, but you drift away. Hold tight, I can save you from this deep black waters. Pull you in while you drift away. Hold tight, I can save you from this deep black waters. Pull you in while you drift away. Yeah, you drift away. Yeah, we used to laugh. You were all that I had, so I gave you my all. And now all of that is gone, I feel. You know all of that is gone, I deep. I'm leaving the light
All right, so you've done. I know it doesn't look like you want to just yet, but trust me, once we fold the edges and attach it to the visor and to the sweatband, it will look exactly like this hat I'm holding here right now. Now the last stitch, this stitch, will be the hardest. We're gonna have to go all the way around the entire circumference of the hat and including the bill of the visor as well. Please pay attention to how I attach and where I start the stitching from. It's pretty straightforward, but do look at my fingers closely and make sure you do the same. Once you down maybe 10 stitches, you will see the leather tends to pull away from you. So it might be easier if you turn the whole cap inside out. This will make it a little easier on you, but once you finish attaching the visor, you will have to turn the cap inside out as well. All right, and you will see the softer the leather, the easier this process will do. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. Just keep stretching the leather down the visor. Either way, you'll get through this. You will get through this. I know you will. Now all you have to do is stitch the rest of the cap to the sweatband, but be careful. We're gonna have to fold the edge of the cap on itself, and this way attach it to the sweatband. This is the last stitch you're gonna finish, and you're gonna have a great looking hat on your head.
So finally,
when you reach the edges here, where these two pieces of leather meet, be careful how you stitch them. All the holes are there. If you punch them properly, you shouldn't have any problems.
Tuesday, yeah. When I'm with you, the weekend never ends.
Well, thank you so much for building this cap with my patterns. Go ahead and subscribe, click that bell button, and next time we come up with something awesome, you're the first to know. Peace!